Hi, how are you? I stand before you this morning because I have a message for you. And I want to share with you something that happened to me yesterday that was quite profound in my normal day-to-day dealings with seeing clients and whatnot. And it was something that was a real blessing to my soul, and I wanted to share it with you. Yesterday I went to deliver some printing material to a client in downtown Chicago. And as I took the elevator up to the 16th floor and got off the elevator and started walking toward the receptionist desks, I noticed that there was a different receptionist there than the one that I had been accustomed to seeing for the past couple years. And immediately I thought that maybe she was sick. So I stepped up to the desk and I said, "Well, where's Linda at?" I said, "Is she not feeling well today?" And she looked at me and she goes, "Well, you haven't been here for a while, have you?" I said, "No, I guess it's been a while, time flies." And she goes, "Well, she retired in July." And I was like, wow. And, Linda and I would have conversations when time permitted, when I would drop stuff off, and we would talk about spiritual issues because she was a Christian. And I didn't know anything about this lady, so I didn't really say anything to her about that, and I was kind of on a tight schedule. I was trying to get back to the city to pick to the burbs to pick my daughter up from school. And so I had her sign for the package to take responsibility for it. And then I started walking away. And she said, "Excuse me," she goes, "You wouldn't happen to be a pastor, would you?" And I said, "A pastor?" I said, "Not officially." I said, "But I do ministry work and I do teach the word whenever I have an opportunity to do so." And she goes, "I knew it." And I'm like, "Really?" I said, "How so?" She goes, "I could just tell." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but what gave it away, or what made you think that?" And she goes, "Oh, it's not that." Nope. I said, "No, I'd like to know." I said, "And if anyone knows me, I'm really big on these type of things, whether it's good or whether it's bad. I'll be the first to tell you, as anyone close to me knows, that if you see something that doesn't seem right, maybe you only have parts of the pieces, but you have made an assumption or something. I say it's your duty as a brother or sister in Christ to say something to me about it. It's not judging a person. We've got this whole judging thing. There's a bunch of misconception about that, and we're going to talk about that actually here in another video. The Lord has shown me over the past few months. We're going to be doing a lot of these kind of videos. But all that is to say is, I kept pressing her to tell me why she would make such a profound statement out of the blue, without any foundation. I mean, we hadn't talked about spiritual things or anything. And finally she goes, "Well," she goes, "You know what?" She says, "You're probably just going to think it's crazy." And I said, "Try me." She goes, "Okay." She goes, "When you got off the elevator and you were standing in front of my desk, and even as you were walking away to get back on the elevator," she said, and then she started smiling, kind of like, here comes the crazy part. She goes, "I saw this aura like around you." And I just looked at her and I said, "Yeah, that's pretty crazy." And then I had to laugh and smile a little bit. And then I looked her seriously in the eyes and I said, "It is written in the scriptures, be not forgetful to entertain strangers, because some have entertained angels unawares." And then I broke out laughing, but the look on her face after I said that, oh, that would have been a Kodak moment right there. But I did tell her, I said, I don't know what that was, but I will say that your spirit is borne witness with my spirit that we're children of God and that we're part of the family of God. And then I said, this is actually the second time that I've heard that since I've been a Christian. And I don't know why things like that happen. I can't explain it because I haven't seen it myself. I said, but it happened to me once back in 2005. And again, I was working. I was doing some advertising stuff, and I stepped into a restaurant to meet with the manager there, and I can't remember if we had an appointment set up or if I just walked in. I do know that I had been there before, and they had told me the times that he was there. So again, I can't remember if I said something. I just walked in, but anyways, I walked into the restaurant. I went up to the counter, and I asked, "Is so and so in?" And they directed me across the room to a booth in the corner where he was sitting doing some paperwork. And I later found out he was doing scheduling for the employees. But he was looking at me as I was walking toward the booth. And so I walked across the restaurant to the tables, walked up to the booth and looked at him, and I said, "Are you so-and-so?" And he said, "I am." And he said, "God sent you here, didn't he?" I was like, why would you say that? I mean, was he supposed to? And he said, because I've backslidden in my faith. And he's been trying to get my attention for several months now. And I've kind of been running away from it. I said, "Oh." I said, "Are you ready to talk about it now?" And he said, "Sure." So I sat down on the other side of the booth, and we spent the next hour talking about his personal walk and things that had happened to him that had caused him to backslide, and it was a very special time. And we didn't even speak anything about advertising till after that, and it was probably that was only for maybe 15 minutes. But that was a divine appointment, one that I didn't know about, one that God had impressed upon his heart, that he had sent somebody there to speak with him. And we had a fantastic prayer, and that man cried at the table, and I had some watered eyes there at that time too. You know, God has saved us to serve. He has saved us to use us, and he has been impressing upon my heart for the past several months now that God is looking for really three main things. He's looking for someone who's compassionate towards others, somebody who has a willingness to serve, who will put themselves out there. And the third one, and that's kind of the biggest one of all, and that is people who will make themselves available for him to use. You see, we live in a very busy world, and we get busy with all kinds of things. We have our work, we have our family lives, we have all kinds of things going on in our life that's vying for that time, and it's busy, and it keeps us busy. And you know, the Bible defines some things that's called dead works. We can get wrapped up in a lot of different stuff, even stuff that's good. I mean, it's walk for cancer, raise awareness for this and that and raise money and, help some very good causes, animal abuse and domestic violence, and all these things are well and good. Feeding the hungry. But if they don't do anything that has some sort of eternal value attached to it, the Bible calls it dead works. A brother of mine, a friend and brother, K.P. Yohanan from Gospel of Asia, talked about their ministry in feeding the hungry. And one very important key ingredient that they did was make sure that the gospel got shared with the people. And this was a statement that he made, and I'll never forget it because it really hit home. He said, if you feed a person physical food, but you don't give them any spiritual nourishment, all you've done is you've prolonged their trip to hell. And you haven't made a real difference, one that will last a lifetime. In other words, one that will last outside of this life on into eternity. So God has been moving my heart. If anyone's been paying attention to my Facebook page over the past, probably especially 6 months, you've noticed some ministry stuff with regards to the homeless and some incidents. And I've only posted a few of what's happened. And I'll be honest with you, I had a hard time for a while trying to decide if I should post anything, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't want it to be perceived as though I was trying to receive praise of men and applause from men, because God says if that's what you're trying to do, you'll get it, but that's your reward. You don't have any reward waiting for you in heaven. And so it was kind of a fear thing. I don't want to be judged. I don't want people to say anything about, oh yeah, he's trying to draw attention to himself, whatever. But I heard God very clearly speak to me. He said to me, I want you to put it up there. So I want you to show my people that it doesn't take very much to make a difference. All it takes is someone that has a compassionate heart, someone who has the willingness to serve, and someone who will make themselves available to me to use as a vessel to work through, to be a blessing, and to hopefully have an eternal impact. You see, I don't want to get too far in depth here, but because there's something that's coming that God is directing me to. But so often we think we have to know everything. We have to plant the seeds, and we have to water the seeds, and we have to bring forth the harvest. But that's not the case. Sometimes you're just called to plant the seed. But you are called to plant the seed. I am called to plant the seed. Somebody else may water, another person may bring forth the harvest. There are some people who are able to do it all in one setting because God has prepared a person and they are ready. Other people aren't so ready. Other people need some seeds here and there, some watering here and there. They're sitting back and they're watching our walk and seeing. Because you know what? We are the hands and feet of Christ, but we are Bibles that people are reading every day. For people who don't read the Bible, they're reading us. They're looking at us. So that is my message for today, and got some stuff coming. So God bless everybody. I hope this message has been a blessing to you. Have a great day.